be today, January 15th, 2026. First of all, thank you everybody for being here. And before we do the roll call, even though it's going to come up, I'd like to welcome our new board member. I don't think anybody knows who he is, so we're going to act like we've never heard from him before. All right. And I also like to say I know I have big shoes to fill here as the chair. Adriana did a phenomenal job, but my responsibility is to ensure our meetings reflect the highest standards of governance, legal integrity, transparency, and to maintain trust. So having said that, I'll go open up for the roll call.
Vice Chair Durrett.
Here.
Member Merritt.
Present.
Dr. Mazarana.
Present.
Member Rath.
Here, present.
And Chair Barry.
Present.
Everyone is here, Chair. You have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, this time we will open it up for public comment. And as a reminder, for public comment, you will have 2 minutes, and then I'll ask you to conclude your remarks. I really don't want to cut anybody off, and so if you go over, I'm going to just let you know ahead of time. I'm going to ask you to conclude your remarks as soon as possible. So having said that, starting up in the north, do we have any public comment?
No public comment up north.
All right, thank you. All right, so down south here, do we have any public comment?
Good morning, Chair, members of the board, Director Hum. For the record, I'm Kimberly Maxson Rushton with the law firm Cooper Levinson, appearing on behalf of RSR Analytical Laboratories. I'd like to begin by congratulating Member Rath on his appointment to the Cannabis Board. Also wanted to just take this time to note for the board that, as you'll recall, a handful of months ago, we discussed the regulatory changes to NCCR 11. At that time, then Chair Frolick moved to continue the meeting so that we could discuss with staff the concerns that the industry had. Since that time, I'm happy to report we've had very productive meetings with staff. I believe that it's really been an amazing demonstration of the cooperativeness and the importance of the regulatory process to bring the industry together with the administrative agency to ensure that we understand what their desires are relative to the way that the labs operate and also the specifics of the statutory interpretation. That said, again, we are requesting that today's consideration be tabled indefinitely so that we can continue to work with staff on these matters. I think we're very, very close. So just wanted to provide you with a quick update on that. And again, thank the staff for their assistance with this.
Thank you.
Adam Fulton with the law firm of Jennings and Fulton, representing the labs here today as well. Again, congratulations to Chris Rath. Again, I echo Kimberly's comments. It's been wonderful working with staff to work on these regulations, try to make sure that the science is supported in there. Kara's been great to work with, as has Mike. And the laboratories fully support item agenda 6, postponing it indefinitely while we can work out some of these kinks and kind of work through these things. And again, staff has been great to work with, and we just wanted to make that known. That's all. Thank you.
We take both those considerations. Thank you. Okay, no more comments? All right, we'll move to the consent agenda. And before we go over the consent agenda, I'm going to move that we pull item C2 and discuss that outside the consent agenda after we go through the consent agenda items. And I make a motion that we remove that for now.
Member Rath seconds.
Okay, it's been moved second that remove item C2 from the consent agenda for discussion after we go through the consent agenda. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right. So having said that, let's go through the consent agenda. If there are any discussions on any of the consent agenda items from the board. Having none, I will offer a motion that all items on the consent agenda be approved and make sure I say this correctly. I move to approve the consent agenda items under item 2.
I just add a friendly amendment to exclude 2C2 from that motion.
Okay, that amended motion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Any opposed? Sorry. All right, that passes, and let's go to discuss item 2C at this time. All right, start with the board. Any issues you wish to discuss around those items on 2C that we removed from the agenda item?
Member Rath, I do have a concern that the only support for the extension request is simply assessing viability. It's my understanding that Lander County lifted its moratorium about a year ago, and I think we need more detail on why this extension is being requested. Those are my thoughts.
Okay. Is there any further discussion from any board members on item 2C? I am also in concurrence that we need more detail, and my request is that we move this to, I'm going to ask for, we move this to the March meeting. Is that too far out?
Do we need to at least provide an extension until that meeting?
Yes.
I would make a motion that we move this matter to the March 2026 meeting, and in the interim, provide an extension only until the date of that meeting.
Member Merritt, I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved second that we move this item to the March CCB board meeting with the extension. Are there any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, this time we're moving to item 3 on the agenda. Number A, Greenway Health Community LLC. If there's any representation here?
Good morning, Chair, members of the board. Rachel Branner for the record. Item A is a request by Greenway Health Community LLC to amend a previously board-approved TOI number 250026, whereby MMJ Investment Facility acquired 100% of Greenway's ownership in production license P097. In light of grandfathered exemptions to state and local distance restrictions, MMJ now requests approval of an amendment to the previously approved TOI to reflect the 100% acquisition of Greenway itself, including the cannabis license, rather than acquiring just the license itself. MMJ has also requested a waiver of NCCR 5.110 pursuant to 5.112. At this time, no areas of concern were identified which would prevent CCB staff from recommending approval of the requested TOI amendment and waiver. I am available for any questions, and my understanding is that Alicia Ashcraft, Michael Vellion, and Daniel Caravetti are available to answer any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair, I'll turn this back to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
See, I'm not technically savvy, so sorry.
I understand.
Happy New Year. Alicia Ashcraft on behalf of the buyer in this transaction, MMJ Investment Facility, and on by way of Zoom is Mike Villion. We did have some issues with connecting this morning, so I don't know if Daniel Caravet of Greenway Health Community was able to join, but happy to answer any questions you have. Chief Branner summarized what is happening, but just to reassure the board, there's no change in the ultimate ownership that was investigated and approved at the November 2025 meeting. This is just merely a change in the structure of the transaction to satisfy some local jurisdiction requirements. So with that said, again, happy to answer any questions you may have, but a brief note, I just have to thank once again, I often sing her praises, but I'm going to do it one more time. CCB investigator Maggie Adams, who thought this one was done and dusted back in November and out of her queue, and then we pulled her back in with this amendment. And once again, she was wonderful to work with and understood what we were trying to achieve and got it taken care of. And explained to Chief Branner with all the other changes that were going on. So just wanted to say thank you and acknowledge all of her hard work on this.
Thank you. And you said you had somebody that was going to be on Zoom?
So Mike Villian is on. He is the owner of MMJ Investment Facility, is the ultimate owner of the buyer. There was a seller representative that was going to join. We had a change in the Zoom link, so maybe he wasn't able to connect, but had intended to be on. But again, I think Mike and I are capable of answering any questions you might have about the changes that are happening.
Thank you. And I see Mr. Villian's on. Do you have any statements, sir?
No, sir. Appreciate the time, obviously, of the board, and also the time of Miss Ashcraft, and hopefully we're good to go this time for sure.
Thank you. All right. If there are no further comments there, I'll turn it over to the board. Any questions or comments?
No.
All right. And I always appreciate hearing the staff has been great to work with. Mr. Holmes got a superstar staff. He does. So we appreciate that. So if there are no further comments, I move to approve agenda item 3A, TOI number 2500026, amending previously approved to TOI number 2500026, and also approve a waiver of the requirements of NCCR 5.110 for any transfer of less than 5%, subject to the condition that the waiver expires on the next agenda date.
Member Rath, second.
Okay. It's been moved to second that we approve agenda item 3A. Any questions or discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're on to agenda item 3B. Jason Smith, DBA JMS Logistics. Is there anybody here? Or comments? Or staff? Start with staff first.
Thank you, Chair. Item B.
She's right there.
Item B is a TOI request number 2500031 by Jason Smith, sole proprietor of JMS Logistics, to transfer its conditional distribution license T090 from its current sole proprietorship structure to J&A Logistics LLC, of which Smith is a 50% owner. The remaining 50% ownership belongs to proposed new owner April Clyde. At this time, no areas of concern have been identified which would prevent CCB staff from recommending approval of this requested TOI. I am available for any questions, and my understanding is that both Jason Smith and April Clyde are also available to answer any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair, back to you.
Thank you. All right. Good morning. All right. Floor is yours. There you go.
Thank you. A little nervous. Jason Smith, just seeking approval to transfer, take on a partner with the business.
Thank you. Any comments?
I second. April Clyde.
We'll get to that motion.
He summed it up.
Okay. We appreciate that. All right. Having said that, there's nobody else that would make any comments? All right. All right.
No, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right. Any comments from staff? Any concerns you want to bring up? Sorry, the board? Any members? Having said that, I move to approve agenda item 3B, TOI number 2500031, allowing the transfer of entity number TO90 to J&A Logistics LLC.
Nazarana seconds that.
Okay, so we move in a second that we approve agenda item 3B, Any questions or discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
Thank you, board.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we're on to item 3C, Wellness Connection of Nevada LLC, transfer its ownership.
Thank you, Chair. Item C is a request by Wellness Connection of Nevada LLC with TOIs number 2500019 through 2500022, requesting approval for the sale of 100% of its ownership interest in its 5 cannabis licenses, C167, P109, D190, RD633, and CLA 014 to Retail Facilities Operations Nevada 2, a subsidiary of Mint Nevada. Mint Nevada is a current Nevada cannabis licensee. If approved, Wellness Connection of Nevada will no longer operate within the Nevada cannabis industry. Additionally, Mint Nevada has requested a waiver of NCCR 5.110 pursuant to NCCR 5.112. At this time, no areas of concern have been identified which would prevent CCB staff from recommending approval of the proposed TOIs. I am available for any questions, and my understanding is that Alicia Ashcraft, Ivan Shahara, Nicholas Scavio, Melissa Waite, and Robert Lally are also available to address any questions you may have. With that, Chair, back to you.
Thank you. All right, good morning again.
Good morning again. Thank you, Chair Barry, members of the board. Alicia Ashcraft on behalf of the ultimate parent company, as Chief Branner mentioned, of retail facilities operations is Mint Nevada and Mint. And with us today by way of Zoom is Ivan Shahara, the owner of Mint, and General Counsel Nicholas Scavio. Happy to answer any questions you have. Pretty straightforward. Both existing licensees transfer of these licenses. Mint's been before the board a couple of times recently, so we kind of shied away from boring you with some PowerPoint slides once again today, but happy to answer any questions that you may have. And again, just a brief thank you and acknowledgement to CCB investigator Charlie Blasco. It was my first time working with Charlie. Just want to mention, I think he's fairly new, but was very thoughtful in that he took the time to look back at prior investigations of both of these entities since they were existing licensees, and then really asked kind of thoughtful, targeted questions, and was really efficient and just wonderful to work with. So I just wanted to say that. But again, myself or Nick or Ivan are happy to answer any questions you have, or if they have something to add, I'll turn it over to them.
Thank you. And gentlemen, the floor is yours if you choose to make a statement or have comments. Can you guys hear me? Okay,
Yes,
there
yeah,
you go.
we can hear you. Sorry. Good morning, board, and thank you for your time. We are excited to expand our operations in Nevada by adding these amazing assets. And happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, to the board, are there any questions or comments that you have? Okay, having said that, I move to approve agenda item 3C, TOIs number 2500019, number 2500022, allow the transfer of entities C167, P109, D190, RD633, and CLA 014 to Retail Facilities Operations NV2 LLC, and also approve a waiver of the requirements of NCCR 5.110 for any transfer less than 5%, subject to the condition that the waiver expires on the next agenda date.
Member Rath, second.
Okay, it's moved in second that we approve item 3C. Any questions or discussions on the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, board. Have a great day.
Thank you. All right, next is our green mining concepts.
Thank you, Chair. Item D is a request by Green Mining Concepts, Inc. and its subsidiary Exhale Brands Nevada LLC under TOI number 2500005, which requests approval of the sale of 100% of Exhale's ownership interests in its cannabis cultivation license C093 to Zenergy One LLC. While Zenergy One is a newly formed entity, members of this entity are already successfully involved in the Nevada cannabis industry. While no areas of concern have been identified related to Zenergy, CCB staff did identify an area of interest related to Exhale. During the August 2024 board meeting, the CCB notified this board that Exhale had a roughly $907,000 balance due to Nevada Department of Taxation. Exhale has since satisfied the entirety of the tax portion of that balance due and is currently contesting a denial by taxation to waive remaining balance of $219,866.41, which is comprised solely of penalties and interest. I am available for any questions you may have, and my understanding is that Pete Finley, John Heischman, and Delbert Cannon are available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair, I'll turn this item back to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. Floor is yours.
John Heischman from Zenergy.
Pete Finley from Green Mining Concepts.
Good morning.
I wish to thank the general, thank you, sir, and thank you for the board for your time on this. Staff has been fantastic. Just like Ms. Ashcraft referenced a minute ago, Investigator Charlie Blasco was a fantastic investigator to work with, and absolutely appreciate his thoroughness and candor and energy. So I couldn't say better things about that process. So with that, I don't have anything else to add. We're looking to transfer 100% of the ownership of our cultivation to Zenergy One. Thank you for your time.
I have no comment.
Sometimes less is better. Okay, having said that, I'll turn it over to the members of the board. Any questions or comments? No questions or comments from the board? Right. Having said that, I move to approve agenda item 3D, TOI number 2500005, allowing the transfer of entity number C093 to Zenergy One LLC, and to also approve a waiver of the requirements of NCCR 5.110 for any transfer of less than 5%, subject to the condition that the waiver expires on the next agenda date.
Member Mazzarano seconds that.
Okay. It's been moved in second that we approve item 3D. Any questions or discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Guess I should wait a little bit longer. All right. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. All right, thank you. Thank you. Okay, we are on to agenda item number 4, consideration of license agreement, management services agreement between Unifirm LLC.
Thank you, Chair. Rachel Branner for the record. Item 4A is a management services agreement, or MSA, number 2500003, submitted by Unifirm, which requests approval of the relationship between Unifirm and URBA so that URBA may participate in Unifirm operations during the suitability investigation for TOI number 2500041, also submitted by Unifirm on November 21st, 2025. The MSA stipulates that while Unifirm will retain ultimate control and authority over its operations, URBA will be permitted to provide the following services: business consulting, accounting, administrative, technological, financial, construction, and related services for operations. At this time, no areas of concern have been identified which would prevent CCB staff from recommending approval of the relationship between Unifirm and URBA created by the MSA. I am available for any questions, and my understanding is that Sam Steiner and Dragan Jovanovic are also available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair, I'll turn this item back to you.
Thank you, and good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members.
Time is yours.
Here. I'm Sam Steiner, representative of Unifirm LLC.
Okay. You have any comments, or here to represent?
Comments. No.
All right. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me. This is actually my first technically transfer of any kind. I've had other facilities throughout the states, been a part of larger operations and brands throughout Illinois, and looking forward to expanding my operations here with you guys.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Having said that, are there any questions or comments from the board? If there are none at this time, for motion, I move to approve agenda item 4, the proposed management services agreement between Unifern and IRBA.
Member Rath, second.
It's been moved in second that we approve agenda item 4A. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we are on to agenda item number 5, request for withdrawal of transfer of interest.
Thank you, Chair. Rachel Branner for the record. Item 5A is a request by Nye Natural Medicinal Solutions, LLC, to withdraw TOI number 2500018, which originally contemplated a sale of Nye's cannabis licenses C166, P107, and T065 to Golden Field, LLC. However, due to a breach of the purchase agreement as well as non-responsiveness to CCB staff by Golden Field's representative, Nye is requesting withdrawal of the TOI without prejudice. I am available for any questions. My understanding is that Amanda Connor, Pejman Beatty, Poya Mahajer, and Joseph Kennedy are available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair, I'll turn this item back to you.
All right, thank you, and good morning.
Good morning. Amanda Connor with the law firm of Connor & Connor on behalf of Nye Natural Medicinal Solutions. My client is requesting to withdraw this transfer of interest. As Ms. Brenner articulated, the proposed buyer became non-responsive and breached the purchase agreement, and they were non-responsive to CCB staff inquiries despite many attempts and great due diligence by your staff. Therefore, we kindly request that this transfer be withdrawn.
Thank you. All right, open to the board for questions and comments.
Just one question, Member Rath. Is there a new buyer in mind, or are you still looking for one?
Amanda Connor for the record. My understanding is my client is looking for or in discussions, but no buyer has been identified at this time.
Thank you.
Any further questions from the board? Or do you have, Member Berry speaking, is there a kind of a timeline that you're looking towards to have a buyer, or nothing in sight?
Amanda Connor for the record. I'm not sure I could speak to a timeline. This license is a active cultivation or active production facility with a cultivation and distribution license in Nye County. I don't know if there's a definitive timeline for a new buyer.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussions? Okay, I will offer a motion. I move to approve agenda item 5A, withdrawal of the TOI applications 2500018. But I also move to continue the status check and come back to the board meeting in June, given the opportunity to locate a new buyer and submit a TOI application.
Sorry, Emily Bordelove, CCB DAG for the record. I believe, Chair, that's for the second item.
Okay.
It's for your
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I jumped ahead. So I move to approve agenda item 5A, the withdrawal to TOI application 2500018 without prejudice. Sorry about that.
Member Mezrana seconds that.
It's been moved to second that agenda item 4A be approved. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I would just say that it's item number 5A, I believe.
Did I say 5A? Oh, I'm sorry, 5A.
Aye.
Aye.
Any dissent? Motion passes. I'll get it right. Okay, now we're on 5B, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Chair. Item 5B is a request by Clark Natural Medicinal Solutions to withdraw TOI number 2500017, which originally contemplated a sale of Clark's cannabis licenses C165 and P108 to Desert Essence LLC. Similar to the last item, this TOI was also submitted pursuant to a stipulation and order for settlement of disciplinary action in case number 2023-021, which required Clark to sell its licenses as a term of its settlement to resolve disciplinary action related to regulatory violations. However, again, similarly to the last one, due to the breach of the purchase agreement, as well as non-responsiveness to CCB staff by Desert Essence's representative, Clark is requesting withdrawal of the TOI without prejudice. I will now turn this item over to Senior Deputy Attorney General Bordelove for additional discussion regarding the settlement agreement.
Thank you, Chief Branner. Good morning, Chair, members of the board. For the record, this is Emily Vasco-Bordelove, Senior Deputy Attorney General, appearing as counsel for the CCB to present the status check portion of this item on today's agenda. As you may recall, and as Chief Branner noted, the settlement for this case was put before the board as last January, part of a global settlement agreement. One of the settlement terms was to transfer the cultivation and production licenses. As you also may recall, the board added to the settlement agreement a condition that any extensions on deadlines would be beyond what was provided in the settlement agreement would be brought back before the board for discussion. One of the deadlines in the agreement was a deadline to submit the TOI application, and the deadline was to serve as a benchmark to monitor transfer progress. Respondent has timely submitted the TOI application, but with this withdrawal of the TOI application necessitated by a third party, there isn't a way to monitor progress. So we're here on a status check to discuss how the board would like to proceed with monitoring transfer progress. And to reiterate, respondent is in compliance with the settlement terms so far. We are not seeking to amend the settlement agreement, but we are bringing it back to the board in keeping with the condition at last January's meeting, as the withdrawal could extend the transfer timeline. As noted, here today, the status check is counsel for respondent to answer any questions. I'm also available to answer any substantive or procedural questions the board may have, specifically procedure-wise, how the board may want to structure monitoring given the settlement agreement. And with that, I submit to the board.
Thank you. Connor?
Good morning. Amanda Connor with the law firm of Connor & Connor on behalf of Clark Natural Medicinal Solutions. As discussed by Chief Branner and Senior Deputy AG Bordelove, this transfer of interest was submitted pursuant to a settlement agreement, and as noted by Deputy Attorney General Bordelove, my client did timely submit the transfer of interest. Through no fault of its own, my client did respond to CCB investigator requests timely and promptly. However, unfortunately, the buyer became non-responsive to CCB staff and as such breached the purchase agreement as well. Therefore, my client is requesting to withdraw this transfer and is diligently working to identify a new buyer. As a status update, discussions are happening, but no new potential buyer has been identified at this time, and I don't think there can be a definitive timeline to that. However, my client is amenable to coming back to provide a status update to the board on how those discussions are occurring and any status updates to that. I just would want to note that, and I think it was noted by the prior speakers, my client did comply with the terms and still is in compliance with the terms of the settlement agreement, and we want to work with CB staff and the board to comply with the remaining portion of transferring the license, but just would request the opportunity to find a new buyer, as we cannot, force third parties to be compliant as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, turn over to the board for any comments.
Member Rath, one question. Is there any litigation involved with the breach of the purchase agreements?
Amanda Connor, for the record, at this time, there is no litigation involved for the breach of the purchase agreement.
Thank you. Just a comment, I do think it's worth keeping track of this with status reports or status checks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further comments or questions from the board? All right, we'll do it right this time. Member Perry, I move to approve agenda item 5B, sorry, with the withdrawal of TOI application 250017. Further move to continue the status check to June of 2026 CCB board meeting so that the respondent can locate a new buyer and submit a TOI application, recognizing that it might not be necessary to notice appendix and hold the status check until during the June meeting if the TOI application is filed. Okay.
Member Rath, I'd like to offer friendly amendment that the withdrawal be without prejudice.
Okay. Thank you.
And second.
It's been amended and second that agenda item 5B be approved. Are there any questions or discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to Rachel Branner and Emily Bordelove for all their work on this.
Okay. And we're on to agenda item number 6, consideration of proposed adoption and amendments. I know this was spoken of earlier, so I will turn it over to staff for any comments at this time on this.
For the record, this is Deputy Director Michael Miles. Good morning, Chair and members of the board. If you recall, certain sections out of Regulation 11 of NCCR, specifically sections 61 through 73 of LCB file R152-24, was taken off and referred back to staff and to work with licensees on coming up with better language for those sections. We have been working hard with the licensees. We recommend that we just take this off calendar until we get it done. We should have it done shortly. We have another meeting scheduled with them in a week and a half. We think the language is really close to being done. Then we need to forward it on to LCB for LCB to approve the language, and then we'll bring it back and put it on calendar as soon as that is done. If you don't like that option, I suggest maybe a status update every 3 months. That's all I have.
Thank you. Okay. Any further discussions or comments? Okay. Member Berry, I move to postpone the consideration of item 6, the adoption amendment in our repeal of proposed NCCR 2, section 61 through 73 of LCB file number R152-24 indefinitely. Let's give it a time period. Let's make this also June 2026 CCB meeting.
And Chair, I think you said section 2 should be section 11, NCCR 11.
NCCR 11, sorry. Okay, with that amendment to June of 2026 CCB meeting.
Member Rath, second.
Okay, it's been moved to second that we approve agenda item 6. Are there any questions or discussions? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Right. Motion passes. Okay. Having said that,
Home stretch.
before we turn it over to Mr. Hum for his state of the state, I just, first of all, want to thank you and your team again. And it's always good to get comments from the industry, from the subject matter experts, from those out there who are coming in, giving us comments about how well your staff is doing. So I just want to, again, thank you. I think I had everybody. So I just want to say thank you for your professionalism and what you do each and every day, and how well you take care of not just the community, but also your board members. And so I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Chair. Just wanted to echo that. Thank you for your efficiency. I think we appreciate the efficiency of a general in our meetings, that's for sure. Also want to welcome back a friendly face, Member Rath. Chris, it's great to see you again. Thank you again for your commitment to the state and certainly this agency. Also, as always, thank you to the industry. We didn't mention the dates, but on top of us continuing to work on those past regulations, we're also going to do another round on our current regulations. So that'll be the first week of March 3rd and March 4th. A little bit separate. The one on March 3rd will be on SB 157, and the one on March 4th, we're going to open up all the regs again. So again, full transparency, want to work with everybody, want everybody to have a chance to discuss these and bring new ideas and fresh ideas and tweaking to the forefront. Thanks to Ms. Maxton Rushton and Mr. Fulton for working with us diligently. That's just two among many others. So again, thanks to them for coming forward today. General Chair Barry, I think you said it, our team is amazing. It is a team of superstars. Any success we had is always driven strictly by them. In general, not quite a state of the state. Leave those to the governor. He always does an excellent job. But it is an exciting 2026 that we have coming up. A lot of things to do with the calendar turning to 2026. We get to start the fun process. I see Senator Rogish in the audience, and I know that we have another session coming up that'll be here before we know it. So again, thank you to the industry for all your participation. We love the input, especially on the regs, things like that, as we kind of look to next session to see what we need to clean up or fix. I think we're really in the cleanup phase. Again, especially on a lot of the statutes. And so now it's more of the fresh idea phase. So again, continue to participate in the industry. I think that's vitally important. We're going to start looking at doing a Cannabis Advisory Commission meeting, scheduling one of those for February. So wanted to make that public, exact dates to be released, but it'll be early February. And then we're going to start looking at things like hemp and taxation that came out of our last bill, which was AB 76. So really looking forward to 2026. Should be an exciting year, should be a fun year, and as we always say in cannabis, should be a busy year. So, Chair, welcome to the chairmanship, Mr. Rath, Member Rath. Glad to have you back, and welcome to the board. And again, to the team, as always, everyone at CCB, thank you so much for all that you do for us, the state, the agency, the board, and the industry. So with that, Chair, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Next is our next meeting date, which we have down for February 19th, 2026. If there is no opposition or we were good with that date, we're going to go with that. I don't have any intent of changing the meeting date. I think it's a good time. Is everybody good with 9 a.m. meeting? You got any? I get to speak up if you have if you want to. We could do it at 6 a.m. I'd like 6 a.m. meetings. If anybody wants
Director
to
Hum, for the record, we're going to keep it at 9 a.m.
Just want to see everybody get a little excited. All right. And will there be any items for our future agendas, for our next agenda that anybody would like to add on? Okay, nothing. All right. And I'll open it back up at this time for public comment. And I remind you, if you have any public comment, you are limited to 2 minutes. I ask that you follow that direction. Any comment up north? Any public comment up north?
No public comment up north.
All right, thank you. Any public comment here down south? Okay, thank you. Again, thank you everyone for your comments today. Anything from the board I can bring up? All right. Having said that, I look forward to being in this position. I take very seriously being a good representation for not only the members of the industry, not of the organization, but also for the governor and all our elected officials in the great state of Nevada. So I'd like efficiency, if you don't know that. So I apologize that we're getting out a little earlier. No, I don't. No, I don't. So, all right, thank you, everyone. And at this time, I move that we are adjourned.